Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a simple question. What's the one voice you hear the most every day? It's not your boss, your spouse, or your friends, it's your own. The voice inside your head narrates your entire life. The problem is, for too many of us, that voice is a relentless critic rather than a trusted coach. Negative self-talk is the invisible anchor holding you back. Every time you whisper, "I'm not good enough, this will never work," or "I'm too late," you're planting seeds of failure. But here's the truth: you are not your doubts. You are the driver of your destiny. Now, I'm not here to sell you some fairy tale about instant miracles, but I'll give you this. If you commit to changing the way you talk to yourself for just 3 days, you can set off a transformation that will ripple through every area of your life. Why 3 days? Because that's how long it takes to interrupt your usual patterns and prove to yourself what's possible. Think of it as a psychological reset, a trial run for a new mindset. Start by becoming aware of your self-talk. Catch yourself when negativity creeps in. Replace "I can't" with "I'm learning." Swap "this is impossible" with "I'll find a way." You're not lying to yourself. You're choosing to speak in terms of solutions rather than problems. And don't stop there. Visualize what success looks like for you. Picture the promotion, the thriving relationship, the new opportunity. Then reinforce it with affirmations like "I deserve this, I'm capable, and nothing will stop me." The secret sauce? Discipline. Change isn't about hoping for a better tomorrow, it's about grabbing control today. Each time you redirect that inner voice, you're rewiring your brain for confidence and resilience. And here's the best part: when you change your self-talk, the world notices. People respond to how you carry yourself. Opportunities you thought were out of reach suddenly become attainable. Why? Because you stopped waiting for permission and started commanding respect from yourself first. So here's my challenge: talk to yourself like a winner for the next 3 days. Catch every doubt, crush every excuse, and replace them with words that fuel your potential. And then watch what happens. It's not magic, it's a decision. You've got 3 days. Are you ready to change your life? The power of self-talk is the most underestimated force in shaping who you are and what you achieve. Think about it: every decision you make, every step you take, starts with a conversation you have with yourself. Yet, most people allow this inner dialogue to run wild, unchecked, like an untrained dog. They let it drag them through doubt, fear, and excuses. They say things to themselves they wouldn't dare say to their worst enemy: "You're not good enough, you'll fail, you don't have what it takes." What if I told you that voice is a liar? It's not the truth, it's a reflection of your fears. And here's the kicker: it's also the most loyal servant you'll ever have. That voice will do whatever you train it to do. Feed it negativity. And negative self-talk is a silent thief, stealing your confidence, your potential, and your opportunities before you even realize what's happening. It's subtle, isn't it? It doesn't come crashing into your mind like a thunderstorm it whispers. You can't do that. Why even bother? You're not smart enough, strong enough, or good enough, and those whispers, repeated day after day, become a belief system that shapes your actions, or worse, your inaction. I think about this every time you tell yourself, "I can't." You're not just speaking words, you're handing over the keys to your future, locking doors that were wide open and shrinking the world of what's possible for you. You become your own worst critic, building a prison of limitations where there should be a landscape of opportunity. Negative self-talk is relentless. It feeds on your insecurities and magnifies every misstep, convincing you that a small setback is a permanent failure. It keeps you playing small, settling for less, and avoiding risks, because the fear of failing feels safer than the possibility of succeeding. But let me ask you this: how much longer are you willing to pay the price for a narrative that isn't even true? Imagine the opportunities you've missed, the relationships you've sabotaged, and the dreams you've buried because of that destructive voice. You didn't lose those things because you weren't capable. You lost them because you talked yourself out of trying. 3 days. That's all it takes to spark a shift that could transform your life. Why 3 days? Because it's short enough to commit to, but powerful enough to disrupt old patterns and ignite a new way of thinking. It's the perfect amount of time to challenge the lies you've been telling yourself and replace them with something stronger, something truer, something that moves you closer to the person you're meant to be. Most people think transformation requires months or years of struggle, but the truth is, the biggest changes often start with the smallest steps. 3 days isn't about perfection, it's about breaking the cycle. It's about showing yourself that you are in control of the story running through your mind. For 3 days, you're not giving yourself permission to doubt, to hesitate, or to criticize. Instead, you're building a foundation of discipline and belief that can carry you forward long after those 72 hours are over. Imagine waking up on day 1 and deciding, today I speak only words that build me up by day 2. Reframing the narrative is about taking control of the script that plays in your mind and deciding to write a new one. Too often we let our past failures, fears, and insecurities dictate the story we tell ourselves. I'm not smart enough, I've always been this way, things like that don't happen to people like me. But here's the truth, those are not facts, they are interpretations. They are stories you've accepted, but stories can be rewritten. Imagine if instead of saying, I'll never succeed, you started saying, I am learning every step of the way. Instead of, I'm not good enough, you told yourself, I am improving every single day. This isn't about ignoring reality, it's about seeing it differently. It's about finding strength in your struggles and using them as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. Think of the greatest leaders, innovators, and achievers. Do you think they've never failed? Of course they have. But they didn't let their failures define them. They chose to rewrite the narrative. When the world told them you can't, they responded, watch me. And that's the energy you need to bring to your life. Every time you catch yourself saying something destructive, I can't do this, I'll never be enough, pause. Stop yourself in that moment and ask, what if I could say something different? What if I could flip this thought into something that fuels me instead of draining me? That's the power of reframing. It's not just about words, it's about belief. When you start speaking differently to yourself, you begin to see yourself differently. You stop seeing obstacles as roadblocks and start viewing them as challenges to conquer. You stop waiting for someone to validate you and begin validating yourself. And here's the beautiful thing, when you reframe your inner narrative, you don't just change your mind, you change your life. Because the way you speak to yourself sets the tone for everything you do. So take control of your story. It's yours to tell, and no one else gets to decide how it ends. You are the author, the editor, and the main character. Reframe the narrative and start living like the hero of your own story. Discipline is the bridge between the life you have and the life you want. It's the foundation for transformation, the key to changing your self-talk, and ultimately the engine that drives every goal you've ever dreamed of achieving. Without discipline, your desires remain fantasies, ideas that never make it off the drawing board. But with discipline, you can shape your reality brick by brick until it reflects the vision you hold in your heart. Now, let's be honest, discipline isn't glamorous. It's not the highlight reel you see on social media. It's not the applause or the awards. Discipline is the early mornings, the quiet moments when no one is watching, and the relentless commitment to doing the work even when you don't feel like it. It's waking up and deciding that your future is worth more than your excuses. Changing the way you talk to yourself is no different. It's not going to happen overnight. And it's not going to happen just because you want it to. It happens because you decide to make it happen. Every time you catch yourself falling into the trap of negativity, I'm not good enough, this is too hard, I'll never make it, you have to summon the discipline to stop, challenge that thought, and replace it with something better. This isn't easy. Your mind will resist. It's wired to stick with what it knows, even if what it knows is holding you back. That's why discipline is so critical. It's the force that keeps you going when your old habits try to pull you back. It's the voice that says, no, we're not giving up. Not today. And here's the beautiful thing about discipline: the more you practice it, the stronger it gets. It's like a muscle. At first it feels awkward and uncomfortable, but with repetition it becomes second nature. Over time, you'll find that the voice of doubt grows quieter and the voice of confidence grows louder. You'll start to trust yourself more, believe in yourself more, and act with a sense. Visualization and affirmation techniques are like planting seeds in the fertile soil of your mind. What you see and speak into existence has a way of shaping your reality, and these tools allow you to take the first step toward creating the life you want. The mind doesn't distinguish between imagination and reality. It believes what you repeatedly show it and tell it. This is where your power lies, not in wishing, but in intentionally directing your thoughts and words to align with the person you are becoming. Imagine waking up every morning and visualizing your goals as if they've already been achieved. Not just thinking about them in vague terms, but truly seeing them, feeling the joy of success, the pride of accomplishment, the gratitude for the journey. Close your eyes and step into that future version of yourself. How do they walk? How do they speak? What decisions do they make? When you do this consistently, you're training your mind to expect that reality, to normalize it, and to start making it happen. But visualization alone isn't enough. You have to speak it. Words are powerful. They create energy, and that energy shapes your actions. When you tell yourself, I am capable, I am strong, I am worthy, you're not just saying words, you're making a declaration. You're telling the universe, and more importantly, your subconscious mind, what to believe about you. The ripple effect of self-talk is more powerful than most people realize. Every thought you have, every word you speak to yourself sends waves through your entire life. It's not just an internal conversation, it influences everything you do, every person you encounter, and every outcome you experience. Think about it, your self-talk is the root of your actions, your behaviors, and ultimately your destiny. It starts with one thought, one word, and then like a pebble dropped in water, it spreads outward in every direction, touching every part of your existence. If your self-talk is filled with doubt and negativity, it creates a ripple of fear, indecision, and stagnation. It keeps you stuck, immobilized by the belief that you aren't capable of achieving anything greater than where you are right now. Your actions will reflect that belief. You won't take risks. You won't pursue opportunities. You won't reach for what you truly want because deep down you've convinced yourself you can't have it. That's the ripple effect at its worst. But flip the script. When you change your self-talk, when you replace the negative with the empowering, everything changes. Your self-talk becomes the foundation of your confidence. You start to believe in your potential, and as a result, your actions reflect that belief. You take more risks. You stand taller. You make decisions that align with your goals, not your fears. You're not just existing, you're thriving, and that ripple effect reaches every corner of your life. It touches the people around you too. When you speak powerfully to yourself, others begin to see you differently. Your confidence becomes contagious. Your energy shifts and people are drawn to you. They feel your conviction, your certainty, and it has an effect on them. Your words, your thoughts, and your energy inspire others to raise their own standards, to believe in themselves the way you're learning to believe in yourself. This is how the ripple effect expands beyond you. It becomes a force that transforms not just your life, but the lives of those you interact with. And let's not forget that the ripple doesn't stop with people. It extends to your opportunities, your health, your success. When you shift the way you talk to yourself, doors begin to open. You start recognizing opportunities you previously overlooked because you now believe you're worthy of them. Your relationships improve because you show up more fully, more authentically, with a stronger sense of self. Even your health improves as you begin to care for yourself in ways that reflect the respect you have for who you are. It's all connected. The ripple effect of self-talk moves through every part of your life, and when you change it for the better, everything around you starts to change as well. It's time to stop playing small. No more excuses, no more holding yourself back because of what you think you can't do or who you think you're not. You've got to challenge the thoughts that are keeping you stuck. You've got to get uncomfortable with your comfort zone and push yourself to do things differently. The moment you decide to shift the way you talk to yourself is the moment you take control of your life. You want to see change? You've got to be the one to create it. For the next 3 days, challenge yourself. Every time that old limiting voice shows up, tell it, not today. I'm in charge now. When you feel doubt creeping in, replace it with an affirmation of power. If you catch yourself thinking, I'm not enough, flip it instantly to I am more than enough. Don't let the negative stories you've been telling yourself keep you from stepping into your greatness. You owe it to yourself to push past those barriers, to question the lies, and to show up with an unshakable belief in your own potential. For the next 3 days, it's all about action. Action backed by the words you're now speaking over yourself. You've visualized it, you've affirmed it. Now, you've got to back it up. Every small step counts. Whether it's picking up the phone and making that call you've been avoiding, or walking into a room with the confidence you've never allowed yourself to take action. Every action you take is evidence that you believe in your own transformation. It's proof to yourself that you are serious about the life you've been envisioning. It's not about waiting for permission. You're not waiting for someone to tell you you're ready. You are already ready. The only thing standing between you and your success is the stories you've been telling yourself, and right now, you're going to change them. This is your challenge for the next 3 days. Decide who you are, who you're becoming, and live in alignment with that vision. No excuses, no hesitation, just you showing up for yourself and making it happen. This is the moment. You have everything it takes to start right now. Don't wait another second. Take that first step. The world is waiting for you to show up, but more importantly, it's time for you to see the power in you that's been there all along. Challenge yourself, push yourself, and start believing that everything you need to achieve the life you want is already within you. It's time to change the story you've been telling yourself. Every single one of us has a narrative running through our minds, a story that shapes how we view ourselves and the world around us. The problem is, for most people, that narrative is filled with limitations, doubts, and the voices of past failures. I'm not good enough, I'll never succeed, I can't handle this, but I'm here to tell you those are just stories. They're not facts, they're not your truth, and they're certainly not the story you were meant to live. Reframing the narrative means taking control of the story that's playing in your mind and deciding to rewrite it. You don't have to accept the negative tapes that run automatically. You have the power to interrupt those thoughts, challenge them, and replace them with something better, something more aligned with the person you are becoming. You're not the sum of your past mistakes. You are not defined by the failures or setbacks you've experienced. Those are just chapters in a much bigger story. It's not where you've been that matters, it's where you're going. You don't have to let your past determine your future. Your past might have been filled with struggle, disappointment, or doubt, but you can choose to flip the page and start a new chapter. Start by questioning the narrative that's keeping you small. What are the lies you've been telling yourself? What are the beliefs that are holding you back? Maybe you've convinced yourself that you're not worthy of success, or that happiness is for someone else, not for you. Maybe you've bought into the lie that you're too old, too young, too inexperienced, or too broken to achieve something great. It's time to question those thoughts and challenge them with the truth. The truth is that you are more capable than you've ever realized. You are stronger than you know. You have everything you need to make your dreams a reality, but first you have to rewrite the narrative that says otherwise. When you change the way you speak to yourself, you change the way you see the world. Your perception of what's possible expands. You stop seeing obstacles and start seeing opportunities. You stop focusing on what's wrong and start looking for what's right. Reframing the narrative doesn't just change your mind, it changes the way you move through the world. You show up differently. You act with more confidence. You take risks. You put yourself out there and you trust that the universe will meet you halfway. Because you're now operating from a place of possibility, not limitation. So today, choose to tell a different story. Start speaking to yourself like you've already achieved everything you've ever dreamed of. Start acting like the person you're becoming, not the person you used to be. And most importantly, start believing that you are the hero of your own story and the best chapters are yet to be written. The narrative is yours to shape. What story will you tell? You hold the pen to your own story, and every word you speak, every thought you entertain is writing the next chapter. The life you want is not out of reach, and it's certainly not impossible. It's waiting for you to believe in it, to show up for it, and to take bold, unapologetic action. This isn't about waiting for the perfect moment or for someone to give you permission. It's about making the choice right now to change your narrative. For the next 3 days, commit to changing your self-talk. Commit to seeing yourself differently, to believing in your potential, and to challenging every thought that tries to hold you back. You're not just talking to yourself, you're building the foundation of the life you deserve. With every affirmation, with every action, you're transforming into the person you've always been meant to be. So go ahead, take the first step. Embrace the discomfort of change, because that discomfort is the evidence that you are growing, evolving, and stepping into your power. The world is waiting for you to rise up and live the life you've been destined for. And remember, this is your story. It's yours to rewrite, yours to reshape, and yours to live. Now, go make it happen.